Hello, beautiful people of the world. My name is Dalton, coach of Ringside Elite Boxing. Welcome you to our podcast, To the Bell. I'm here with my lifelong friend, Gustavo. And then, of course, we got Colton right here just all hanging out. Have you ever watched a podcast?
I started one time, about a minute and a half ago.
About a minute and a half. That's typically all of our subscribers. They get one, like, they get in, they're like, yeah, that's cool. I'm next. Joe Rogan.
Damn.
So we're just kind of just freestyling it. We haven't had a podcast in quite a while due to holidays coming up. Gus still isn't out of the mud, clearly.
You're not. With what a minute you said you watched, still in the mud. Our budget's still zero. I mean, ain't nothing changed over here.
I got a short attention span.
So we just figured we'd bring in Colton here. He's been a member for the gym a little bit and immediately just fit in the group, man. And we had a dirty stand up for ringside a couple weeks ago, and we had the absolute blast, dude. It was hilarious. So I was just like, man, Colt should go on the podcast. We can all just mingle in and just make it just not even about boxing, which I know people say it's to the bell. You're supposed to talk about boxing. We'll get to that. We will, maybe, but it's gonna be just.
If y'all keep on watching, maybe.
Yeah,
if y'all don't be watching, maybe not.
Yeah, so we're just gonna do something a little bit different today. So
I don't know if you're gonna watch.
we always hear a lot of funny stories. I'm just going to write it to when it comes to boxing, right? That's, either your fitness journey, you're starting off in boxing, or a random guy walking to the gym. Anybody can relate. We all have a funny story when it comes to being at ringside, right? And usually because of our location, like we get people like all off the street, God bless them, but some of them are just off the wall. But you're kind of new in the room, whatever. So you're new to the boxing journey. Do you have any stories since you've been in boxing?
I have two that started both in the same night, and like you said, God bless my friend here, and he might get mad at me for telling the story. But so I go over to my buddy's house, and we're talking. He's like, "Hey man, you've been starting this boxing stuff like that. You've been enjoying it?" I said, "Yeah, man, it's great." He said, we got to talking about it a little bit and stuff like that. I showed him my gloves and all that sort of stuff, and he was talking about wanting to come do it just because him and his buddies want to spar too. And I was like, "Yeah, man, come on out. It'll be a great time." And so we sit down, we start talking, and he looks at me and he says, "Why don't you show me your knuckles?" And I was like, "All right, well, here," and I did that right there. And I was like, "Well, there you go." And he says, "Oh man, you got some pretty good ones." He's like, "I think me though," he said, "I got good punching knuckles." He said, "Look how far they stick out. That's good punching knuckles right there." He said, "Yeah, I think I can clock somebody." Of course, in my head, I'm like, "Man, you're gonna be wearing a pair of gloves," but it is what it is.
Yeah, you get your hands wrapped and you wear gloves.
Yeah, but the second one was definitely later on that night. We decided that we were gonna go outside and spar a little bit, and they lined up with me, and I had another buddy actually who wanted to, and I accidentally hit him right in the liver, and that was a pretty funny story.
It cracked me up because he's telling me this story. He's like, "I have no clue where the liver's at," and I said, "But I bet you found it, didn't you?" And then he shows me the video, and I was like, "Yeah, you found it. You found the liver." I want to know, like, you need to kind of like start tiptoeing around that question, like, "Oh, yeah, I have good punchy knuckles." Like, who told you that? Where did you? Is that like an urban legend? What is that? What's punchy knuckles mean?
Man, I don't know.
Bare knuckle? Is that?
Been punching rice for 10 years.
Now I've got my punchy knuckles established.
He watched Rocky more times than anybody else, probably.
So that develops his punchy knuckles. I'm gonna skip to. I got a few funny ones, but I'll start with the funniest one that I've had in a while. And we had a guy, again, like, bless his heart, man. Like, where we're located at, we get a lot of people off the streets. And there was one guy, I'll never forget him, man. He was in a wheelchair, and he would come over here and he would hang out during our gym sessions. But he could never come in. He would always stay like outside the gym, and he would harass my clients for pain pills. And he's like, when I was in Louisville, I promise, dude, everything I'm telling you, like, he would ask my clients for pain pills, and they're like, "No," and he's like, "Well, I'm from Louisville, they would give me pain pills over here." And he would ask our people in the gym, like Caleb and the fighters and stuff, would be like, "Let me show you Gator push-up. You ever done a Gator push-up?" It's like, is it like the Spider-Man push-ups? Like you crawl, you do a push-up, you crawl. And he's like, "I used to be able to know, like, don't tell nobody." And he would, dude, he was like a cameo from the gym. Like, he was like one of those, like, coming off the street. It was so weird, dude. I don't know where he's at now, but he cracked me up, dude. He would just, like, pull up, like, put his head on my picnic table outside, just wait for us to get here, talk. It was wild, dude. But another class comes in, like Kev was here in the morning, and he came over and asked him about the Gator push-ups, and then Josh comes in, who's like one of the kids in high school, and he goes outside of jump ropes almost all the time, like when it's warm, And sure enough, old boy's down here waiting on him, right? And you hear him yell for him. So I see Josh like walk off, and I was like, man, he needs to tell me before he like leaves anywhere. And he goes down there, and I see him talking to him, and he comes back up when the class is in session. Caleb's here at this time, and he's like, I said, I like fanned him over, and I said, man, what do you want? He's like, he asked me to do gator push-ups. If I could do gator push-ups, and I was like, I said, go to Caleb, because Caleb was like, what? He's like, yeah, you do my gator push-up. He was like going around the gym like just like one at a time, reeling them in, like. Do you have any pain pills? No. Can you do a gator push-up? Like that was like his.
You ain't no real boxer if you can't do no gator push-ups.
Dude, he would come in and do his like normal class, and he'd be like, "Let me hear that leather." Like he'd be hitting this, and let me hear that leather. He's gonna hit him in the jaw. We're gonna hit him in the jaw, and we're like, dude, who is this guy? And he would just sit there and have commentary. That's like all he would do, man. That's literally all he would do. And I don't know where he's at now, man, but he was.
Probably in jail.
Yeah.
He asked the wrong person. You got any pain pills?
And
No, I'm a cop. You can't do a gator push-up.
You can't take me to jail and take me 5 gator push-ups.
Gets off real. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Vibes.
He was wild, man. He was very wild. Do y'all have any stories y'all can think of off the top of your head? Like, Caleb, you have any that he was just walking off the street, just. See, I get him a lot, man, because I'm the coach, and I get the weirdest encounters, man. I had another guy, I was telling him about it, that he comes in, and he was one of those, off the street tough guys, like I've been in 5,000 street fights, whatever, that, like throw punch, like, you know what I mean? I look over, and like class like hasn't started yet, and I was like, man, like feel free to hit the bags until class starts, whatever, just kind of do your own thing. And I sit down, and he's sitting in the bag, starts off like, like I expect, he's in the bags, whatever. He positions himself in between 2 heavy bags, like one here, and he immediately starts like, poof, poof, and he starts like hitting, like he's getting jumped, and I just didn't say a word. I'm like, well, I'm gonna watch him, and he's like kicking the bags, and everybody loves to kick the bags, like those Spartan kick them or like side kick them or whatever, roundhouse kick them. And I was like, are you getting jumped? Like, what are you training for, dude?
He was fighting his demons.
Yes.
I'm going to show them tonight.
I was like, dude, he can't be serious. Like, I know he can. Like, this dude can't be serious. And he like to bink, 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 bink. Was you with us whenever he came back from the gas station and chased the honking his horn? We're listening to music.
Yeah.
Oh.
So and again, where we're positioned at, we get a lot of homeless people that just, usually off drugs or addicts or whatever. Yeah, like they're cool, like whatever, but you just never know who you're gonna see. But we pull in one day and Chase is like blaring his music and he's like honking us one, whatever. We got out of the car and he's posted up in front of like the dumpster. And Chase is like, what's that guy looking like? Just mouthing off, whatever, just being a kid or whatever. And we get out, we go to walk in the gym. He goes, hey, like, dude, Chase like smarts off something, dude. And like Chase says something. Well, dude like approaches us, walks up to us, and we're all just kind of waiting. And like he said something, and he's like. Immediately took the impression that we were cops. Like that was his, like he was like, you know what that badge stands for? And again, I'm wearing a rank side like shirt, and he's like, a lot of people don't know what that badge stands for. And I was like, you're fucking damn right, dude, damn right. And he's like, that badge means to serve and protect. And you guys don't make enough. And I was like, you damn right we don't. Like, you're right. And he's like, y'all don't get paid enough. And I was like, you're right, dude. And he immediately starts telling himself. He's like, you know that trash on the bridge? And I was like, yeah. He's like, don't you worry. I'm going to clean it up. I've been staying back here behind this gas station. I know I'm not supposed to. Y'all done told me. I know. I'm going to clean up that mess that y'all ain't got to hear nothing out of me. And I was like, all right. And the dude, he's like a cool dude.
He sounds like a good guy.
But he would take a shopping cart. They all have shopping carts. Where they get them, I don't know. But they would pull up and they would check our garbage. Remember, you'd be in your training, and then you'd hear them like falling through the trash. And the door would be wide open, but it's in the summer, so you can't see us looking at you, right? The way that like the light shines off, you can't see in the gym. And he's picking up mirrors. He grabbed my mirror that it just broke. It fell over. And he didn't know it. He picks it up, looks at it. He's like, I don't want that. Like throws it back down in there. Like, dude, you can't pick and choose. It's free. Like,
It's weird, dude.
yeah, but it's just the people you encounter.
Now, the funniest thing was, after he was running his mouth, Chase was like, well, if we had a house, you don't have to worry about my horn.
That's terrible.
No, it's not.
Dude, it blows my mind, dude, when they do stuff like that, man. So, all right, we'll switch it up. If you don't have like a box in front of you, you lift weights.
Yeah.
You lift weights.
I have no bitch.
Do you have any funny like memories or things at the gym that took place throughout your fitness journey?
You want to go first?
You lifted a long time. You have no stories that you just like.
Oh. Yes. Yes.
He sounded like going to the folder in his mind.
Yes.
That
We were warming up on the treadmill. There was 4 of us. We was warming up on the treadmill. We were there for like 3 minutes running. And then this guy started getting hot. So he was like, started taking his hoodie off. And I don't know why. You running and you taking off your hoodie. And all I heard is like, I was like, and everybody just stopped at the gym. And I was like, look back when my phone started running again. I was like, nope, I'm not laughing. That's the funniest thing.
And that guy's defense, though, when you're running on a treadmill, mentally you're on the road. You know, you're like in your head, you're like, well, I've ran through my hoodie off before. And then you start.
I mean, at least he could have stepped to the side. You know what I'm saying? Like, jump off, and then take off the hoodie. But nah, he was doing at least 5 miles per hour.
So like a good enough.
Yeah, good enough where you heard like he went. So the whole gym stopped and looked at him.
So I do strongman too on the side, and I got the nickname Kool-Aid Man for a pretty good reason. I was at the gym up there, man. They had this event called Farmers Carries, and it's these 2 handles you reach down, pick up, and you take off with them. And, you know, me being a big guy, I never won speed for anything in my life. So I was like, well, maybe if I can pick something up and carry it pretty fast, it might impress the rest of these guys that are in here. So it's probably like 200 or 220 pounds per hand. And so I reach down, I pick them up, and I'm like, okay, let me backtrack, actually. So the reason why we weren't doing this outside is this is the dead middle of winter. And so we didn't lay down ice or anything beforehand, salt beforehand. So it was too slick outside to go outside and do them. So we were going to do inside this gym that's, you know, the size of a barber shop because that's what it used to be. And so I reached down and picked these things up and take off running. Well, I don't know the laws of physics at all, apparently. So when I go to stop, you know, I built up this full speed with this extra 220 pounds per hand. I put my foot down to stop. My arms are back here. But when I do that, my arms go like this right here. And I go flying forward, and then I proceeded to bust my lip onto this Atlas stone that's in front of me, these concrete balls. And then I have that one farmer handle fall on my shin, and it bruised my shin up. And that was probably the worst one. They started calling me Kool-Aid Man because I put a hole in the wall. And then I made the comment that my leg was hurt and starting to swell up, and, you know, they threw a fat joke at me and said, well, how do you even know?
Oh, they did.
Oh my goodness.
No, they didn't. You see my knee, my legs swelling up, and they're like, you here too.
That was probably my funniest, like, strongman related story.
Oh no, dude, that's rough. And they're like, how about you too?
The emotional pain hurt more than the physical there.
Yeah, probably does because you're trying to make make an impact, make a statement, and you're
from all these manly men.
You made a hole in the wall.
Now everybody's checking on me like, you okay? You all right? Come on, fat boy.
Dang, no filter.
That's poor guy, dude. Poor guy. What about like, okay, so we know the New Year's coming up, dude, and we know what's going to happen, right? We're going to get a lot of guys in the gym, you know, a lot of people in the gym. They got, I call them like the, you know, New Year, New Me, like the, you know, one month warriors, and then like that's kind of the end of it. Why do you guys feel about that?
I'm okay with it, man. I've always been a big believer that I think it's better to not set a day ahead of time because something will always happen, man.
Yeah, the second you go the first of the year, here's what gets me. Not even the first of the year, right? If I ask you, like, when you're going to start saving money, when are you going to start going on the diet, when are you going to start doing this? The second they throw out a date, I'm like, you're giving yourself too long to make an excuse. Like if you're like, oh, I'm going to go in 2 weeks. I'm like, dude, you're giving yourself too big of a window to be like, well, I was going to, and you know, whatever. Like, if you're going to do it, make the change now.
Exactly.
Like, don't wait, dude, because, like, the second you wait, you have too many, like excuses to be like, I'm not doing it yet.
If you wanted to make the change enough to actually go through with doing it, you wouldn't wait. You know, you can just go ahead and start now.
Dude, I've had, I'll give Gus an example and Davis an example in SCRTC, right? These are 3 guys that I've had for almost since I've been established here. And they all just showed up randomly. Like they didn't text me or call me, they just showed up. And they're just like, wearing just, you know, normal civilian clothes, not workout attire at all. And they're like, I'm gonna look into boxing. And I was like, yeah, sweet, dude. Like, that showed me immediately, like, right off the gate, okay, they're like, you guys are taking it serious, you guys are ready to make that change. They didn't call me or... Dude, I can't tell how many calls I get a week or how many text messages.
Man, even me, like,
that are
just because I wear the ring size merch, they come and tell me and be like, hey, how does that work? I'll be like, what works? You know, I'll be forgetting. I'll be like, what does that work? He said, that. And I'll be like, what? Oh, there's the...
My badge.
Take my badge. They don't pay enough. They don't
I
pay
had
enough.
like 8 people text me like my first week.
Yeah.
Out here.
I just love it that you guys get a glimpse of what I got to deal with, man.
I can imagine.
Dude, it's
I can
insane,
imagine.
man.
Not one of them showed up.
No, none of them.
I used to be, and like I could show you the text message. Somebody like calls me out on it. But I used to be the type of guy that like, if you texted me and like, hey, I'm thinking about joining, I'm immediately like, we'd love to have you come. We're very open arms to new people. Yada 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 yada. I mean, I sent paragraphs. I used to.
Yeah.
And then one day I was talking to somebody about it. I was like, man, like, what am I doing wrong? And they're like, it's not you, it's them. What you need to start doing, send them prices, what they need to wear, schedule. That's it. Like, that is not you, right? When you're texting that phone, that's not your personality. Send them whatever, simple as possible, whatever information they need, send it. If they show up, then let them see Coach Dalton.
I
Then
tell you
give
what.
them that,
I tell you what.
okay, this guy's like, who did I text
Yeah.
the other day?
Yeah.
Like, that was me. They're like, well, they were like real short. And I'm like, well, yeah, like, because I've had some people just burn me. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
like, I'm going to be there, and
Don't
they never
waste
show up.
energy on somebody else.
Yeah,
I
so
get
I'm
you.
I
like-
tell you a good example. Well, I seen this. This happened to me. A good example, Sack, the guy that does my tattoos.
Absolutely.
First time I met him, I was like, man, he's a jerk. Like, he ain't even gonna welcome me or nothing. He was just like, looked at it, 600. I'm like, you ain't even gonna explain or nothing? And I was like, man, I'm going next door. So I went next door over there. There were 1,200 over there. I said, yeah, I think I'm going back. I think I'm going back to Sack. Yeah, I think I'm going with Sack. And ever since then, I got.
Are you sure it's 600?
No, listen. And once I really we got to spend one-on-one time together. And the first thing I went in there, I seen the sign that says,
Your price depending
based
on your attitude.
Yes. And I was like, maybe he needs to read that sign. I was like, but now once I got to know him, like we can talk. Sometimes I go in there, have an all-day event, and I'm only get tattooed for an hour because we in there talking. And I just love that. Sometimes I go over there and just I don't expect to get my sleeve done or whatever, nothing. Have you only done like this little work? And I'm happy. I'm satisfied. He said, man, I'm sorry I didn't get to man, don't worry because I enjoy
Sometimes it's a person, dude.
Yeah, I enjoy talking to you. I enjoy
can't tell you,
it.
I mean, y'all know, y'all all been here enough. Like, we'll get to our class, man. We'll spend 15, 20, an
my
hour
goodness.
just talking, dude.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes it's about that community that we talk about. Just community. Just
Yeah.
coming in and just vibing with the gym.
I mean, just like the Christmas thing,
Dude,
dude.
we left.
my
Dude, my
goodness.
stomach was hurting from laughing
Yeah.
so hard.
Oh, my
dude. I
goodness.
was in tears. We all have a lot of childhood trauma that we're all like very
Oh, my goodness.
emotional about. And we all get very no. We use that as like the
Joe.
It's a
Yeah,
it's a- it's a-
bad.
That was Tiffany said that guy Cole, but he's awesome. I was like, what is he talking about? He said that guy that you and him were going at it. I said, oh yeah, he's good as heck, man.
It was like back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth. And he said, how did he join the boxing team? I said, I think I'm responsible for that. She said, why is that? I said, because I remember the first time I met him, he was stretching. And I was just like, I can't believe he's stretching. Because he's stretching like split. And I'm like, if he can do that, I can't do that. I can't do that.
If he can do it, I
I
can.
can't. You know what I'm saying? I was like, and then I even told him, I was like, dang, boy, you getting down low? He said, yeah. And then I see him pushing weight. I was like, pushing a lot of weight. I was like, okay. And then we got to talking a little bit. I talked to him about the boxing or what. He said a couple questions, but I'm going to take credit. I recruit this man.
Dude,
Yeah.
You guys was the first one to talk to me.
He just he just does such a good job when it comes to like talking to people and just getting everybody involved.
Certain people, not all people. Sorry.
Yeah,
You're right.
sorry.
Certain ones.
I was cracking up, dude. I was cracking up because they started talking. They were like, you can see he was like beat on as a child, and I was like, oh my, did like the instant like, true or false? Did your dad hit you with a tobacco stick?
Yes. Funny
Bro,
time.
you said
Yeah, I thought you said you were.
you said don't snitch, bro. You just
What?
don't
Oh, he's
snitch.
okay. He already done his time. He's back in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's okay.
I asked him, we're all hanging out, and I was like, Jeff, didn't your like dad take out your tobacco stick and hit you in the head? And he was like, no, I'll never snitch.
That was Carlos.
Hey. He said, I'll never snitch. So that's the general.
No, because I will always beat you. And then you can be like, no, I got a worse story for you. And I'll be like, nah, ain't nothing. That's Christmas for me.
And he hates Christmas.
I do hate Christmas.
time.
That's like point.
Y'all just had me. I mean, dude, my stomach was hurting, dude, laughing, man. Like somebody brought up like beat somebody up or something. They're like, "Oh, that's where we draw the line. You can talk about getting beat up as a child.
But
You can talk about hurting nobody. That's where we draw the line."
Oh my goodness.
So he lied to you. We actually are going to talk about boxing. It was me and Gus getting boxed as a kid by our fathers.
Man, we were the punching bags because we couldn't punch back.
Yeah.
No, so it was like, but we got hit. Dang, delete that. That hit by tobacco sticks and all that good stuff.
You said like after the court and everything was done, you're down with the dad you up, and you said your initial reaction was to like flinch.
I was like, not the face, Daddy, not the face.
So you didn't tell me, son. You went, oh.
No. And you know the bad thing about it? I didn't snitch on him. My other brother snitched on him, and I'm the one that had to sit on the stand to testify for him. So I'm like,
I get it. Hey, I feel that.
I was like, dang, I ain't even snitching. I'm
know all
here.
about that.
I feel that. I'm all about that court. I ain't supposed to be there. I feel that. 100%. I'm there. I feel that. I feel that. Poor guy though. But hey, but all that made you who you are today, and we can joke about it.
But you know what?
The thing is, you can't joke about it when you're like in that position.
No.
When you're out of it, you can be like, woo.
But you know what?
That was funny.
All jokes
That was
aside,
funny.
and serious point, like, I'm glad that it happened.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Because like,
And people that don't know that kind of look at you funny. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
you wanted to get beat.
no, I didn't want to get beat on, but I'm glad it happened.
Pain is growth.
Yes.
Right. So like now you have that gratitude. Now you have that like I'm appreciative of stuff that I have now. You know what I mean? So and I like that too. Like same as me, I went through some like my trials and stuff that y'all know about. I don't really go into a whole lot, but like, you know, because of what I went through, it made me who I am today. So I ain't mad at it. You know, I'm not.
No.
I don't look at that as like a negative thing. Looking at it like, well, if it didn't happen, I won't be here. I
Oh,
won't be
right,
that.
fact. You see, if all this thing didn't happen with me, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't know y'all. I would still be at the motherland.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? Or I'll be somewhere, I don't know what.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad it happened. I'm glad that he brought me over here to the States, you know, whatever. Because, I mean, let's say he didn't brought me over here. Either three things. I would have been working with my cousins, putting glass in buildings, being a drug trafficker, or something. You know what I'm
Would you
saying?
have been good at it?
Drug trafficking?
Yeah.
Heck no. I'm too kind. like on
You
my.
ain't gotta pay me next week.
No, right, cause like.
Yeah, we'll sit you up on the payment.
Like back in the
Next
day.
Friday.
Yeah.
But like back in the day, my young days, you know, I did little things or whatever. And I was too kind. Like, I feel so sorry for the crackheads. So I'd be like, yeah, you just get me some of that, whatever. And I was like,
Don't worry, they'll
this ain't for me. Like, this ain't for me. Like, nah.
Hey, you need to.
You gotta be cold
you
blooded.
need
Just take this
you
thing,
need
dog.
to-
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
$4.90.
Yeah, I mean, like, cause I mean, you know, like.
Dude, I mean, drugs destroy families, but you're like, dude,
100%.
you already lost it here, dude.
Yeah.
Here, go destroy your
Your wife and kid already left you. Go ahead.
I mean,
This
it's bad.
way more
I
than-
don't maybe know it's because I feel bad. Like, I'll be like, nah, bro, like,
I'm
go
gonna
ahead.
be honest, man. I worked in a factory, and the people that were there 24/7, almost all of them did meth.
So I was working in this factory, and this guy comes in, man. Like I said, we've had 100 people come through try to do this job and leave because it's long hours. I mean, you're working 16-hour days sometimes, and all that sort of
Yeah.
stuff. This one guy came in, of course, growing up with the childhood I had, I've seen a lot of stuff. I know about
So
what's
you already
going on.
know. Your radar, your crap radar is going
yeah.
off.
Yeah, my exact radar is going off, and this guy is buzzing for me, and I'm like, all right, man, I know you're on that. Like, it's 100%. Like, I know
He's like,
he's on that Jenny Crank diet, 100%. And because he'll come up and talk to you in a minute, and he's displaying certain signs. And at the start of the week, he's working really hard. Towards the end of the week, he's starting to slow off. And I said, this guy's on meth, guys. And they said, I mean, that's kind of a rude thing to say about somebody just right off the bat. You don't even know that guy. I said, okay, we get paid this Friday. He's going to work like crap Friday until lunch. I said, on lunchtime, he's going to start
you
working
gotta
great.
turn it up.
Monday, great. Tuesday, okay. Wednesday, back to normal all the way until the next Friday. All right, man, whatever. Sure enough, that Friday he came in, real tired. When our break time came around, came back, wired. Couldn't stop this guy. He was packaging whole boxes by himself, going through, man.
I'll tell you a story I'll never forget it, dude. So I was at work one time, man. It kind of like the same, kind of similar story. This guy drove a forklift, and I was an operator at the time. And I cut my finger open, my pinky. And not bad, but like I probably should have got stitches, but I was like, no, man, I'm not gonna risk it.
Too tough for that.
It's a recordable. I was like, you're not about to call me out. Like, we had an operator cut his finger, so I was like, bet, I'm just gonna like man up, whatever. We have like an hour and a half left of the work shift, whatever. It cuts it immediately. I go straight to my mouth, and I walk in the office and like, what's going on? And I was like, I cut my finger like pretty bad, but I go straight to the bathroom. We'll look at it in there. I go in there, I look at it. They're like, if you go to get stitches, it will be recordable because it happened at work. And I was like, okay. And he's like, you want to take a drug test? And y'all know I'm clean, whatever. So anyway, I was like, without skipping a beat, I was like, how long does cocaine last in your system? And they start laughing, right? Because it's funny. I don't get drugs or whatever. So I like wrap it up. I go out to the line. The next day I'm talking about it. And they were like, dude, what happened to your finger? And it was like the crackhead, like forklift driver. He walks up to me and I was like, joking around. He said, whoa, what's going on, Bubba? What happened to your pinky? And I was like, oh, dude, I, sliced it open, whatever. He said, you get stitches? I was like, no, man, I told them, like, I can't take a drug test. I don't know how long cocaine lasts in my system. Waiting for the laugh. He's like, 72 hours. I was like,
he's like, no.
I was like, oh, dude. I was like, okay, what do I do? So I'm like fumbling through my head, like, what do I do? And I was like, oh, dude, good looking out, man. He's like, when was this? And I was like, this past weekend. He was like, okay. And he goes, did you snort it or did? And I was like, yeah, snorted it. Like, I was like, what do you do?
I'm a fake druggie.
Dude. Ever since then, dude, I swear, he would drive around and like give me like the nod. Like,
y'all were brothers in crack.
Became best friends, dude. And like ever since then, he would like dab me up. We've never connected ever. It was just like, I'm an operator, you were a forklift driver. We have that mutual respect, dude. Ever since the cocaine joke, he was like, oh, he's one of me.
He's my brother.
Yeah, he was like, I guarantee he was like, hey, man, don't let him fool you, man. He does cocaine. This guy over here, but he's cool, man. He's one of us. They're all jumping by, like, dang, guys. Like, peace, brother. Like, I got you. Dude, I was like, oh, man, dude. So I had, like, be cool with that. But the easiest way, like, the funniest, like, innocent pranks I love to do at dark, but at my old job, was to do, like, if I had a suspicion of somebody, like, being on drugs, it could be smoking weed, whatever. My favorite thing to do was every hour you have a road change. So I would be like, I'd go up there and, like, the line would go down for, like, 5 minutes. I'd run it back. Well, like, 2 minutes. That was pretty quick. So I'd go up there, do the line down, and if I questioned you, like, I would go up there, I would stop the line. You'd stop it anyway. And I'd go, hey, man, we're doing a random drug test. Just like, we're all going, like, back to, it's our turn. I was like, go upstairs in the break room. They're going to have, and I'm being dead serious. I'm straight faced.
They sweating.
When you go to I was like, this is what we're going to do. Like, the line's just there. They're like, why's my line down? And I'm like, we're doing, like, a random drug test today. I was like, go upstairs. You'll do your drug test. If you pass, you'll come back downstairs. You'll go to break. You'll clock out. And they're like, okay, and I just walk off. I don't give them any time to be like, what do I do? So I like wait, and I'm just watching them, like from a distance, just seeing what they're doing, and then just like pacing back and forth.
Man,
and then I'll walk back up, and I'm like, hey, are you did you go? And they're like, oh, dude, I gotta talk to you for a second. and I already know where it's going. And I'm like, yeah, and they're like, I gotta go to my car. And I'm like, for what, dude? And they're like, I got some in my car. And I'm like, well, I gotta keep budgeting. Like, dude, I can't pass a drug test.
Well, that's what we were hoping.
And I'm like, what? You what? And I had one guy actually. He left. Did not come back. He left.
You made a man quit his job.
I did.
No, you definitely did.
Yeah.
They were like,
probably in jail.
They were asking me like, man, where's so and so? I was like, he went out.
That's probably a wheelchair guy.
You remember me?
Gator push-ups.
I was doing Gator push-ups. Waiting on you, Bo. Dude, I'm gonna get them going, dude. Eventually, some of them was like, I'm like, no, I'm just messing with you. And they'd be like, dude, you got me. I'm like, you don't really smoke, do you? They're like, yes. I'm like, I know.
I'm gonna cut your tires.
Oh, dude, you would get them going, man. Something about drug heads, just you get them, like, they're so gullible, dude. That's why that's why they're in jail. They tell themselves.
They'll also, like, tell you any information you want to know. Like, I worked at a job up there in Cave City at a certain pallet factory, and this guy comes in, man, and it was the same deal as, like, working in the packaging place, man. It was just like, you have people come in, they never last, and they'll end up leaving. Well, this guy lasted for a little while, and we get to talking one day, man.
You get a connection, like you kind of like feel sorry for
him.
Like, I hate you're on crack, but you're a good dude.
Like, I'm not on crack, but I feel like I should start doing crack because I'm hanging out with y'all. But this guy, man, he gets to talking one day. He's like, so what do you do outside of here? And I'm like, oh, man, I'll play like PlayStation or Xbox or something like that.
Oh, you got that big money.
Oh, no, that's not paying for it.
I can't afford all of it, just pieces.
Yeah.
So how do they just give it to you, make the payment so they like
every 2 weeks it just goes out of the check. Regardless of that. But this guy.
There's a controller next week. You get like the
Yeah.
and then you get like the HDMI cord.
Yeah. But then he'd be like, so what do you do outside here? And I tell him I play games or I might go to the gym or something like that. He's like, oh, that's cool. He said, you ever done cockfighting before? I said, man, that's crazy. But no. And so then for the next 2 hours, he tells me about cockfighting. Like, I didn't know they had to put all these metal things on their talons and everything else.
Can I ask you something? I have a neighbor. He's Hispanic. Like, a guy's Hispanic, or is he a white guy?
No, he's a white guy.
He was white?
Actually, okay.
Because I had a neighbor, dude, and they showed me videos and everything. He's white.
Yeah.
Dude.
He lives
They
in
fight
an RV.
dogs. They fight.
Yeah.
It's wild, dude. And I didn't think white dudes got into that.
Oh,
I thought they just
yeah.
did crack. We do crack and cockfighting.
They go both crack together.
Yeah.
We get so high.
Sometimes we get the chicken crack. They really fight well.
It's wild, man. So he spends 2 hours like in depth.
Telling me, and it's always kind of scary up there because you're always on your guard because you're always around people who are either drunk or on drugs with nail guns.
Oh my god!
And so like they'll miss nails sometimes. You'll just hear ching, ching.
And they're like,
I almost got you.
like, dude, what are you doing, man?
I had a guy actually nail me almost point blank because I was under this table, which all our tables that we make these pallets on are made out of wood. And so I'm under the table like fixing, the bottom of it, and this guy like comes over and he's fixing to nail the pallet. And I'm like, don't you nail that pallet? Like I'm sitting right under it. And he's like, well, he misses. He misses. And it shoots me right in my arm. And like, just like it's sticking out. And I'm like, do I tell you what's going to happen? And like this job didn't require you to wear safety glasses, earbuds, like nothing.
Definitely like paid you under the table, I feel like.
Yeah, $10 an hour.
Under the table.
Yeah.
Under the same table. You can grab your check without getting hit with the nail and win your money.
That was the first place I ever had a gun pull on me, too.
I feel like
yeah.
I feel like they do cockfighting and like the crack, and they're all in the same place. It's like out back is like the
definitely. I always heard some like chickens out back, but I never questioned it.
Yeah, it's like skateboarding. You're like, you've been here 6 months. Here's your chicken.
What chicken you want?
Yeah, which chicken you want?
We would have had deducted this out of your check. It's non-taxed.
It's hilarious. You got a gun pulled out on you?
Yeah. From my boss.
Why you was
What? Why you boss?
Yeah, it was my dad.
Oh.
Yeah. It was a really wild situation.
Yeah.
So your daddy was the owner?
Yeah. Well, no, he was a
like
supervisor.
Supervisor.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Was your daddy the one that shot you with the?
No, it was somebody else.
Okay.
It was somebody else, but
I'll pull a gun out of him. It was his daddy's.
I ain't no snitch.
I'm like some people.
That's what you was gonna tell me, which.
Yeah.
Okay.
I 100%, man. But yeah, I see some wild stuff up there. You'll see a lot of.
You work at a festival. You probably got some crazy stuff.
Oh no, we don't drug test over there.
Like,
we love them. We love the.
We love the crackers.
I'll tell you a story. They do. They do. I give them props. There was a guy that like, dude. It's not my factory, it's someone else's factory, but they were telling me stories like we talked, got on the subject of like, crackheads and factory work. And there was a story like the cops had to pull up and get somebody. Dude, they all scattered. They all like roaches, dude. They're on the clock. They all just dipped. They all like left the factory. Like they see lights pull up and they all just scattered. And I was like, can you imagine being a cop and you're like, dude, we're just here for like a we're just checking, dude.
Funny
you're all
story.
just scattered. Like you're like, do you grab your gun? What do you do? Like
funny story. We were on break. I was back then about 10 years ago. I was on the second shift. The main police pulled up the parking lot with a K9 unit. Got the dog, and we were all on break, and everybody just scattered everywhere to their car. And then there was like the plant manager. They went to the plant manager. Hey, why the cops here? She was like, son got in trouble. They had to come over here and tell her. So they're not gonna search us. Oh no, y'all ain't got nothing to worry. Y'all ain't got nothing to worry. It was like everybody's like, hey, I'm going to my car. Could you watch my line? Everybody, they go by turn. Hey, I'm gonna go to my car. I gotta put some up. And then, finally, it was just like, whoever gotta go to their car, just go to their car and put y'all stuff up. Cause they don't care. They don't like
the intercom.
Like our human resource guy.
You got cameras out there.
Our human resource, the old ex-human resource. He said, I don't care what you own. I don't care what you do.
Cause you're making the money.
He said, as long as whatever you keep doing it. As long as y'all come in to work. I was
It's
like,
that
my
saying, you know,
goodness.
they make $1, you making a dime. They don't
Yeah,
care. They're like,
it's like, oh my goodness.
if it makes you work hard, if you get more
One
money.
time at work, they I don't know why, but I got some weird stories about my job. One time my job, I went in there and I noticed the main human person was out there in the bathroom waiting, and I had to go get some tubs. I went got the forklift, went over there, got some tubs, and he pulled me on the forklift. He said, "Hey," I said, "What's up?" He said, "Do me a favor." I said, "What's up?" He said, "Go in the bathroom and see if you can smell anything." I said, "Went in the bathroom."
Drop the deuce, son.
I said, "I don't smell nothing." Somebody in there? I said, "Yes, somebody in there." He said, "Okay." And then there was a new guy started. He came out or whatever. When they came, got him off the line and took him to the office. Got to find out he was shooting in there. But he threw his hammer on in the trash when they were getting him to go check him or whatever. He threw his hammer on, his needle on the trash can. And they went in there. He said apparently the way he was shooting, he didn't have no trace marks nowhere in his body. The way he was shooting, it was in his tongue, like inside his tongue.
Oh.
And I was like, no. He said once they find out that and they said they were going to call police, he broke that door, the front desk office door, and just running across the parking
You're
lot.
not going to contain him.
And I was like, what?
He's the Incredible Hulk.
Yeah, it's like,
For the next
Just
hour.
assumed the position and flew off.
and then they came over there, and then, they told me what's going on or whatever, and I was like, he said, did you see anything when you went in the bathroom? I was like, nah. So
And what's that guy looking for?
he said, well, they got the look, and sure enough, they went over there where he was at by track, and sure enough, they found a syringe with
That
heroin
is
in it.
insane. He's like, whoosh, whoosh, just like, that is insane.
That was actually the second guy that came in here also and was doing like the whole thing with the.
Yeah, he left. He left the factory, came here, was like practicing hitting the bags. Like,
He's going
They ain't gonna get me next time. I'm gonna get them.
these demons.
You sound just like John Rambo.
That is insane, dude.
Yeah,
We're like cutting close to time. We got anything else we want to talk about, or is that kind of like?
I'm good. Yeah.
I'm just gonna say I had a blast, dude.
That was
Yeah.
fun.
What a blast! There's such a fun time
Oh.
though. Colton.
Mhm.
Again, I want to apologize for we had a while for you to podcast. If you made it past a minute and a half, unlike Colton over here.
I'll watch this episode probably.
He's got a like and comment.
Yeah.
Like
That podcast is hilarious. What should I say? If you like what you saw, like, comment, subscribe. Maybe you can comment and be like, y'all should do another one. That was hilarious. Like, tell more stories. Quit talking about boxing. We don't like that stuff anymore.
Whoa.
Anyway, if you like it, tell your
Friend, your mama, your daddy, your stepdaddy, the baby daddy, the rabbit, the dog, the chicken. Damn chickens, they're fighting over there in Brownville. Everybody.
Tell them all. So again, hope you guys have a happy new year, all that good stuff, and time.